Hello all and welcome back to High Ridge Farm with me, the Walrus. We're in year 3 right now as we prepare ourselves for the last bits of the perfection challenge that I am attempting to achieve. Of course, the lovely wife of mine, Haley, has been fantastic and been helpful around the farm, which is always nice. It is quite sweet how she wants to try to help more, but isn't so au fait with actually what goes on the farm and doesn't really know how to. So it's kind of cute that she wants to help, but doesn't as much because, she just doesn't know. But, that's me finding that adorable. As you can see in my lovely greenhouse, we are slowly but surely filling the entire thing up with ancient fruit seeds, which will be fantastic because that's going to give us a large quantity of money, as ancient fruit wine is quite damn valuable. Of course, we still have lots of starfruit on the go, and we'll have constant starfruit wine production on the go. Thankfully, due to a mix of production from the Ginger Island farm, as well as from our soon-to-be completed and upgraded third shed, which rather than having anything like barrel-wise inside, it will contain a large quantity of the plant pots, which will have starfruit growing on them. Of course, there are some other options as well, but in the same way, So the things that I'm sort of debating, like some of the constant crops, like hops and other miscellanea, they aren't really as useful. As, of course, I can just be very lazy in that just completely ignore those and rely entirely on, well, Ginger Island for those, as I don't really need to worry so much, which is great, because I'd rather have be able to just ignore having to worry about some crops inside. Of course, I do have a large number of crops that are growing inside my house as well, so I have some hops, I have cactus fruit, I've got a couple of pineapple plants growing in the house, which, lovely stuff, really. Nothing that really needs a huge amount of work and worry, which is kind of the important part of this, because not having to worry about them makes them much easier. As you can see, we've got lots and lots of preserves getting ready at the moment. Now, of course, I do really want to get more preserve jars, because then I can just have constant things being constantly pickled and preserved in my establishments here, because, that's a very important thing. I want more pickles and preserves, because they're not as valuable, yes, as the wines, but they are phenomenally helpful. And that's kind of the main thing, really, for me, is the fact that they are still very useful. They allow me to make a lot of money. And, yeah, well, why would I not want that? More money, the better. And, yeah. Preserves themselves, I know that they aren't really as valuable in the grand scheme of things, but hey-ho, whatever will I do? There's lots that I can get and lots that I can do, so. Okay. So we've still got quite a few nice things coming out from our animals, which is good. And still lots of milk, kind of understandable, really. As, well, chadoi. Of course I'm going to have, I've got the cows, they're going to constantly produce milk, which is nice. It means that I can keep making cheese and a little bit of extra money just coming in slowly but surely. That's really how that's going to go for me on this one. Otherwise, though, I'm still debating if there are any other animals that might be more useful to have elsewhere in the farm. Of course, I have a reasonable number of different animals in the coop, but some of them I'm still debating whether it be better to have elsewhere, or if they would be better to have more numerous of some, because yeah, I've got lots of the dinosaurs, but that's only because I really like dinosaurs, so why would I not want dinosaurs? I'm kind of debating whether I get like a bunch of void chickens. They're quite cute, I will give them that. They're adorable. So that's kind of another consideration, is Are they adorable? Do I want more of them? And I think that's quite a reasonable way of looking at the animals on the farm of, do you like the look of them? Would you like to have more of them in the farm? I think that's quite reasonable. Okay. Now, as we sort of look around through the farm, it's quite nice for me, like, looking around and going, oh yeah, I forgot that I've done this. And, you know, the way that I've laid out the farm, it's shamelessly lifted, as I may have mentioned in an earlier video, shamelessly lifted from the Reddit subreddit, where I did see somebody had laid out the greenhouse and the horse stable quite like that. And I think it looks very nice, so that's why I shamelessly copied it, because it just looks pleasant and, you know, makes me happy. And I think that's, again, a reasonable thing to do, because it looks nice, and I'd rather have a nice layout of the farm. And again, making sure that things actually make sense and are laid out in a way that makes sense to me is really all that matters. Because, well, if I understand how things are laid out, well, that's kind of the useful stuff there. Okay. So as you can see, I'm just upgrading the other shed here. So then I'll have 3 fully sized, fully upgraded sheds, which will give me a lot of room to play around with. And yes, I'm painfully aware I haven't yet done anything with, well, I haven't completely laid out the first one, sorry, the preserve one, which, you know, it still needs a little bit of work and needs to be sorted out, but it's not the end of the world on that one. But oh well. Yes, one of the other things I am going to need to do is actually get a lot more quartz. I need refined quartz to make the plant pots. Without that, then I'm really a bit more stuffed, for want of a better phrase, because I need that for the future of the last shed, as that is going to be a growing shed, which is going to be a bit strange, because it's essentially going to be Greenhouse 2 Electric Boogaloo. Okay, so of course I've still got to get further down in the mines, and that's a major component of this week in general, because I want to get to the bottom, I want to get everything sorted, and I want to get Mr. Key's challenge done and out of the way, because again, the money is where it's at. That's the main reason for all this madness. I need the money. There's nothing else I can really say for it. Because I say, when I see the money, I need the key gems, which are, you know, they are a form of currency, just a bit more of an unusual one. But it is really what I need, and I really enjoy it when I've got lots of horrible ghosts that are coming along to try to eat my brains. Or, well, whatever it is that ghosts do, because ghosts need to buzz off. There's so many of them. They need to just go away and die. Ah, this is a pain in the posterior, isn't it? I think that's going to be the major component issue that I'm having, is dealing with these damn ghosts. I'm not enjoying fighting them, because they are very annoying. Okay, fine. Can we do anything else that might help? Well, again, once I cleave through all these ghosts, it'll just be, and all these horrible creatures, it's going to be easy enough. But it's just the fact that I have to faff and deal with it all. Ugh, frustrating. Well, once they're dead, though, it's fine. That's kind of the main thing, isn't it? Once they're dead, then I don't have to worry as much. Well, which, to be fair, when it comes to the undead of the ghosts, they are already slain and are just getting in the way. Okay. Let's have a quick think. Where else next is kind of the next major question, isn't it? What else can I do here? Well, there's not really much, is there? Sadly. It's very much the I'm umming and ahhing, because I still really want to make my way further down in the mines at as high a speed as physically possible. And to be fair, it can be quite difficult to when you are beset on all sides by horrible creatures that you can't really see very easily or fight very easily, like these shadow men. I think they have a proper name, don't they? The shadow creatures or something. But all the same, they're annoying. They need to go away. I don't really want to be dealing with them. I'd rather they just lay down and just buzzed off. But that is not going to be the way this is going. Right, now I've panicked a little bit because you can see my health has crashed something fierce. The monsters out in the horrible mines are, you know, they're a little bit... I need to sort this nonsense out. Because I don't really want to keel over and cark it. That would be kind of a bad idea. Everything seems to be going a little bit wrong. I think it's probably the nicest way of putting it, and I need to deal with this. So, I'm going to go to the saloon, I think, and I'm going to buy a bunch of foodstuffs. Maybe buying one that's just stats, not stats, sorry, just health and stamina, because then I could benefit from a food item that gives me a boost. And I think that's probably the best way of playing this. If I had something that can give me a improved ability, whilst I consume something that's only there to restore my health and stamina, that way I can maintain that boost. Because, of course, if you eat another food that gives you a stat boost, you erase the previous one, which kind of sucks, especially if you've got one that's particularly helpful, like, for example, the rock candy. If I was to eat that, and that would suck so much, because that stuff is absurdly good. It gives you so many stat boosts and is really helpful. But, you know, that's just one of the many food items that I think would be a good one. Really, I should probably look at the ones that can improve my combat ability more than anything. And speed. Now, there are already a couple that do speed, such as the spicy eel. That gives you a speed boost, as well as luck. Both of which, shocking enough, really helpful stats to boost. I mean, to be fair, there's lots of stats that are good to boost, but for me, right now, it's honestly speed and combat capability. They're the two most helpful at this very moment in time. Oh, goodness gracious, these ghosts are so annoying. They just need to go away. And all these other creatures that hit just hard, I think that's the problem I've got, is there's so many things that hit far too hard at the moment that I have to deal with, and it's causing me a lot of problems down here in the mines. And what else can I deal with, or how else can I deal with them? Yeah, that's the main question, isn't it? How am I going to deal with all these horrible creatures and critters that are just getting in the way? Well, salad seems to be the main driving force on that one. Large quantities of salad are apparently particularly helpful at restoring your HP. I mean, yes, I know there are better foods out there, but it's just finding out what I can actually get with ease. And part of it was I just sank money into it because I was feeling... not that I was feeling lazy, even though, strictly speaking, that's probably the best way of putting it. It was the easiest way of doing it because I do have the capability of making food, but some of them are a little bit more involved than I might like. I think it's probably the easiest way of putting it. Because some of them, yeah, I need to actually put some effort into making. Oh my goodness. An infested floor like this is not what I need to be dealing with right now. Okay, just buzz off. Shoo. Okay, well, let's eat another salad and just restore some health. Again, it's not much. I really need to find better foodstuffs because, yeah, that's not much, is it? It's kind of alarming, actually, how low the end result food that I'm getting out of them is. It's not great, is it? And it's, yeah, I'm still struggling a little bit here. And, need to organise better on that one. But at least we're getting lots of radioactive ore. That's kind of nice. I'm never going to be upset about having lots of radioactive ore. Because, yeah, that's some useful stuff. Like, hands down. It is incredibly handy to have. But there is obviously a lot to be said for having better resources. around and about. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do here? That's the question, isn't it? There's not much else that I can really source out of this. Come on. I've got to figure out a good way of doing this. There has to be a sneaky way that I can get down further. I mean, strictly speaking, yes, there is. It's the using the ladders. That's gonna really be the best bet, isn't it, right now? Because if I can use the ladders, then, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this very quickly. And I don't really need to worry about it if I get there. It's kind of sad that that's really the best way for me to do this, isn't it? Huh. I think that is, honestly, the most sensible plan I've currently got. Damn, that's very annoying. Oh well, I'll live. Right, so we're going to head on down a bit further. So we're now fighting the horrible bug creatures, which is annoying. But what's more annoying in here, unfortunately, are these damn dust sprites. They don't hit that hard, to be fair. What they are is incredibly numerous. But the real creature that's of a major issue in this particular environment are the damn spiders. Because those spiders are numerous and horrific and just will not die. They take quite a lot more damage than I'd like, and they are jumpy and annoying. And, yeah. Don't know about everyone else out there, but I'm not, like, afraid of spiders. I don't dislike them. I've got a couple that live in my house, and I'm perfectly content with their existence. But that's because they're not the size of me, and they're not trying to jump on my face. Whereas these ones, well, that's a very different question. They want to eat my brains or whatever they want to do. They're just being vicious, annoying swines, and they should go away. And that's all I can say on this matter, is they need to buzz off. I don't want to deal with them. I think that's really the brutal truth of it. I don't want to have to deal with them because I'm very lazy. And I'm never going to deny that fact. I am a lazy man. But now let's see. Well, floor 45 now, so we're getting there, and it's now midnight, so we should probably bail on tonight's adventuring in the mines. That would be sensible, methinks. Hopefully, we'll be okay with other general miscellanea that's going down here, as that's kind of where we're at on this. Okay, so let's fight our way through. That's fine and all. What else can we do here? Not much for the rest of the day. I've got all this rice that just needs to add a little bit more. There we go, lovely. We're going to have quite a nice rice harvest this year, I think, which will be good. I don't use a lot of rice. I mean, it's there. It's something. It's just something that gets grown and used. Again, there's not a huge amount of use for it, other than milling it into actually usable rice. And it is used in a few recipes. That's its main, really its main use in-game. Okay, so my mango tree was unable to grow again last night. That's one of the ones that's on Ginger Island. Essentially, I screwed up its placement, so not much I can do on that one. Sorry, mango tree. I think it's because there's something growing nearby it or something. I can easily get more of the saplings. I've got a lot of them, to be fair, because they just appear regularly out of nowhere. It's probably the easiest way of putting it. They do just happen. So I'm not too worried, really. Okay. Now what? That's the question, isn't it? So I'm going to store up some more caffeine, because coffee is fantastically useful. The speed boost alone is just really useful. And turning it into the triple shot espresso fantastically useful. Also kind of helpful for one of the Mr. Key challenges, if memory serves, where you have to try to gather like stuff you've cooked of a certain value. And if you're clever about it, well, you can use the coffee that you can buy from what's it called? The saloon. There we go. I did words good again. You can use the coffee that you buy from the saloon and actually just use that, because that counts. You turn that into, you know, something a bit more useful. Right. Okay, so that's that. Let's just quickly hoik up this garlic, because it's out of range of the Junimo hut. I could theoretically put another one next to the well, but I'm not sure how viably useful that would actually be. I mean, it might be helpful, just not sure how helpful. I think that's the real quandary I've got on that one. Because it could be helpful. Could be. I know, I'm so decisive, aren't I? It's a wonder I ever get anything done, to be very fair. I am very indecisive, which is interesting considering I'm very impulsive as well. So I'll make a dumb decision and then just go along with it. Because I've gone, yeah, you know what, screw it. I'm done. We're doing this now. You know, it has its uses. And at least I'm honest about the fact that I am an idiot and I know it. Right. Okay. Well, there's still a lot of organising we've got here. I could probably cook up a few other bits of food, which might be nice. Just wondering if there's anything else I could cook that would be of, you know, particular use for me at the moment. Again, I need things that either increase my mining skill or my combat skill. The combat skill is really the main one, though. That's the one that really needs working into something useful. Because combat's kind of the thing that I'm doing the most at the moment. And I really, honestly thinking about it, I really should try leveling up a bit of my cooking ability, in that having better combat skills would be really useful, but that does kind of mean, I don't know whether my cooking is, no, it's not my cooking that's really needs to be upped. It's the weapon. I need the other galaxy souls. I need to forge the legendary blades. I need to make the best sword I physically can hold, because that way I can go and kick the posterior off of anything else. Because yeah, that's it. That's really all it boils down to. I need to be able to kick the living snot out of them. And yeah, that's kind of all I can say about it. There's a lot of potential risk for me with what's there. And I need to be able to just make sure I do as much damage as possible. Really. Well, I'm going to build the last obelisk. Now, I think I might have jumped the gun on my last episode when I said, oh yeah, no, I've already done that. I was like, no, what I've actually done is I haven't built it yet. Because I'm a fool. I thought I had built it. But, again, not the end of the world on that one. It's now built and it's done. So, I now have all 4 of the capabilities of teleporting all over the damn show. Rah! Well, very much the wherever I want to go. And that's a big thing. Being able to teleport around is kind of handy. It means I can go to the beach, I can go to the mountains, and I'm able to go wherever I want. I will admit, one of the things that I do really need to sort out, though, along with that, is, again, the return scepter, because without that, I'm a little bit stymied. Because that will allow me to get around a bit better. And that's kind of a major thing that's sorting me out. Now, I've called my most recent hatchling Squiggle, which is after one of my my late guinea pigs. It was a very fluffy boy. And I think that might be something I do, is I may end up naming all of my animals in future after the guineas, because it's a cute little way for me to remember them. And yeah. I love my baby boys. They're all my little cuties. So, let's see. So we've got another rare seed, which we can plant in for another sweet gemberry. It is a shame you can't really do anything with them other than, you know, have them and sell them on their own. You can't turn them into wine. You can't go further than that. You can't use them in anything. It's a bit disappointing, really. It would be nice if there was something else you could do with them, but I kind of guess there's a reason for it, maybe? I do wonder. Again, I don't want to speculate on what's coming out with the latest and potentially final update to Stardew Valley, but who knows? Something exciting could happen with them. There's a lot to be looking forward to, and I will never deny that I'm really looking forward to another update. It is going to mean that this perfection run is going to be slightly more fiddly, because I haven't really done everything yet, so I'm going to have more work to ahead of myself. But again, I can deal. Okay. So whilst we're in the house, we'll just stash a few things elsewhere, which is what we need to do. I think perfectly reasonable. Right. Let's see. Is there much else that I can do? Well, food-wise, I've cooked a good chunk of things. I'm going to really... I think one of the things I would like to do over the next couple of weeks in-game is actually to focus on cooking as a major thing that I want to do. Because if I can figure out what resources and how many of each resource I need, it'd be quite nice to have that all sorted and ready. Because again, I'd like to get everything done. I know some of the recipes are going to require me to improve my friendship with the villagers, so that's going to be a major part of the next few weeks. I've got a good chunk of relationship with most of the villagers. It's just a few of them are still a little bit low. For example, Leo. The thing about him, though, is because obviously he's on Ginger Island, I need to go and travel to see him, which isn't difficult now that I've got the teleport thing, but I just need to remember to go and see him and give him a mango every day. Well, twice in a week. I can't really do it more than that, because the game won't let me. Well, 3 times if it happens to be his birthday, which I think is, again, reasonable. Because once we can do that, then we're golden. Because if we can get ourselves all happy and lovely with him, then we will end up with quite a nice boost to our abilities of cooking whatever the heck it is he gives us. Because yeah, I don't really know. Leo is a character I don't know much about. I mean, other than the fact that his parents are dead, he washed up on an island, which is pretty dark for a game like Stardew Valley. It's quite pleasant and sweet, and then you go, that's really dark. And there's a lot of just general dark attitudes and natures in this game. It's like, I really should do the gay marriage side that George gets comments on, which is quite interesting, because he says some stuff, and it's quite interesting that he has that. He's obviously not keen on the idea of 2 men being together, so it's quite an interesting turn for him on that one. But some of the other characters, they have like quite a bit of character development, really, and there's a lot of dark issues. I know I've talked about Shane a fair bit, because I do really feel for him as a character, and that he is a chronic alcoholic. But unlike Pam, who's a functional alcoholic, as harsh as that might sound, Pam is, you know, she's able to function. Like, Shane is not. He is very much so in a bad place. and he needs help. And I'll be very honest about it. He needs a lot of help. And, yeah, it's kind of sad. But I think that also, it really is, harsh as it is, it may be part of why I dislike Pam, is that she's able to function with her alcoholism, and poor old Shane isn't. I feel for that. I know during university I did struggle a little bit with alcohol, and not just because of, I'm at uni, I'm drinking too much. It's, I had a tough time. So perhaps it's my own personal life story that's making that happen. But it's not like I feel like she's a terrible human being. I just don't like her as a character. In the same way, there are a number of different other characters that I'm just not fond of. But that's, just how that rolls. I can't really help that fact, I'm afraid. But oh well. Right, so obviously we're still trying to get further down in here, which is going to be... Ugh, goodness, so many of these damn things. Ugh, go away. Damn little mushroom creatures that are the sprites. The dust sprites. Well, fine. It's a pain in the bum, but, they need to die. Okay. Let's keep on going. There's got to be a quick, easy way down. Please be an easy way down. I just want to get out of here. Ugh, no. Well, again, I need to kill them because I need the burglar's ring, because they're really what you're going to get from it. I guess that's going to be the two... I'm going to have to end up with, like, Iridium Bands, so I'm going to have the Iridium Band plus burglar's ring, Iridium Band plus vampire's ring, and I'm trying to remember what the other ones I've actually got are, to be fair. But those are going to be, like, two of the major ones that I'm going to need. Because, again, I need to be able to get around and about and do things and be able to heal myself, particularly within the... trying to get further down in Skull Caverns, because that's going to be a challenge. Just on its own, it's going to be a challenge, let alone actually dealing with the rest of the horrible things down there. So, yeah... That's going to be fun. Okay, come on. So we found another way down. That's good. We're just going to keep farming our way down these damn passageways. The faster we can get down and out through this blasted cave system, the better. The trouble is, I think it's all going to get a little bit worse. Like, the skeleton bit I can deal with just about. They're annoying, but they're not impossible. I think it's probably the best way of describing the skeleton area. They are annoying, though. That's the big shame, is that they're very annoying, because the ability to just freeze you in place, plus all those damn vomity ghosts who can essentially prevent you from eating and drinking unless you're carrying ginger ale, which is going to have to be something that I'm going to have to start carrying around with me, I think, because ginger ale is going to be my saving grace, really. Putting it very bluntly, like, without it, I think I'm a bit stymied and absolutely stuffed. So, I'm going to have to make sure... I mean, I do have some. I just think I might have to make some more. Which... It's not that I don't want to do that. It's just going to be annoying to remember to carry it. But not impossible. Plus, also, ginger ale does improve your luck, if memory serves. So, it's actually... It does have a benefit to you, other than restoring your HP and stopping you from feeling nauseous, which, again, ginger does in real life. It is a fantastically useful anti-nausea food. Makes you feel a bit less queasy. And it's one of those things that, like, whenever I've had, like, a stomach upset or I felt grim, I will just eat crystallized ginger because of its... properties of helping settle a stomach. It's one of the reasons, like, I think that is possibly why ginger is eaten with sushi. Now, bear with me, I could be spouting some absolute nonsense here, but I have a theory that because it helps with an upset stomach, it means that if the raw fish isn't quite as fresh as it probably should be, the ginger kind of helps counteract that, like, feeling unwell. How effective that really is a very different question. But, you know, hey-ho. That's kind of a story for another day. Because, as I said, I could be making it all up as I go along. Which, it wouldn't be the first time, to be fair. I am, as I frequently say, I know I'm an idiot. And at least I'm honest about it. Right, so let's head on back through to the town and get back home because, well, there's not really much else here, is there? Okay, so I've got a little bit that I can sort out on the farm before I go to bed. It's still quite early in the day in the grand scheme of things. So let's sort some stuff out. Because there's got to be some useful stuff that we can do here. Let's see. What can we organise and what can we figure out in these storage issues that we've got here? Now, again, some of the geodes are going to be particularly handy later on because I'm going to go to the desert and I'm going to hand those in and turn them into the treasure troves. Because again, I still need the golden mask, so I should probably head to the desert at some point. Also because I need to do some fishing there, and you know, there's still a little bit that I need to do in the desert. Not much, but there's a little. Okay. Let's see. What else can we organise? Well, that's all the organising that I can really figure out and orchestrate of the farm at the moment. So what I will essentially do is I'll just get myself ready to be like, well, thank you very much for tuning in today. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and please do like, share and subscribe. And you know, if you've got anyone else you know who you think would enjoy a random British man talking to you about Stardew Valley and how much he absolutely adores the game, please send them a link, share it with them, because it's nice to see new people. I'm never going to be upset about having people enjoying the game with me. And that's kind of the big thing for me, is I want to make people happy watching videos, and I know well that my voice is quite soothing, so hey, always happy. Always happy for that. Okay. So let's just quickly get everything reorganized. I feel like everything is mostly ready to go for the next couple of days, I think. So what we're going to head on down is we're going to see if we can get further in the mines. So hopefully by the end of Sunday, we'll be at floor 120. I think it's going to have to be a use of staircases again, because that's kind of what we had to do last time, which is a little bit frustrating, but, you know, it's how it rolls. But that's just get this stuff done and get everything ready to go. But again, thank you again for tuning in. And hopefully we'll catch you again the next time the Walrus plays Stardew Valley.